There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes.
What it is, okay? I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
If you leave a hateful comment again and again, you will be blocked, deleted, also backtraced.
This is absolutely lit. This is lit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. That's me. What's up, lovers, friends? Get up in here. Destiny fans, welcome. Get on in here. Let me personally welcome you to the stream. We like to get loose in here. We like to get wild, okay? We slut it up quite a bit. Don't be afraid. Go ahead and take your pants off and lube up. We're going to have fun, I promise. What's up, guys? Welcome. Tonight, we're getting into the Destiny Rage Quit that recently, I guess this was yesterday. So I have watched the clips that have come out with this, and there's a few circulating, but the initial moment where he actually quits this debate is interesting, and it's very funny. But I do want to watch, like, you know, a fair amount more of the debate and see what led to this and stuff, because you never know what happened. If there's extra context for this that'll make it look different, there's a possibility. I don't know. We'll get into it. And then also, guys, this is so funny. So you guys remember, I forget what day it was. Well, I don't know. Was it last week? Was it this week? I forget. When Dave Smith was on Piers Morgan and he debated that guy from the PBD podcast. And it was just really funny because that night I said a few things while we reviewed this debate, in quotation marks. And it's just really funny how Patrick Bet David has reacted to it. It seems I may have hit the nail on the head. I don't know if Patrick Bet David saw a clip of my show or something. I don't know who else had covered this. People have been shared the clips, but it's just so fucking funny. We're gonna get into this. There's a clip. I think it's like 15 minutes or so from their show. I think it was from today. Might have been from yesterday, but they finally broke their silence about the fucking atrocious, embarrassing debate performance of what's the guy's name? I don't even remember. Adam, is that his name? The guy Adam on PBD that loves to defend JE. You know, he's one of those guys that's like, oh yeah, I mean, that's cool. Yeah, those files, that's really cool. All the stuff you see in there, it means absolutely nothing, but cool fantasy, guys. He's one of those. So anyway, we're going to go over this, guys, because it's really funny. I went back and I found where we covered the Dave Smith debate, and I saved some clips from when we were watching it. So we're going to take a look at that. I might actually release a little edit. That's what I was planning on doing after I saw the way. So I did not watch the full clip. I haven't watched the full version of anything that we're going to review tonight, in full disclosure. But it appears that I may have been right about how Patrick Bet David would react to Adam's debate performance when he debated Dave Smith on the Piers Morgan Uncensored show. So anyway, let's get to it, guys. Let me get the chat up. Where are we tonight? Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, also known as X. If you're addicted to ketamine and have autism and you're in them files, you know, asking to go to an island to party. So wherever you're at, get in the chat, lovers. I got you all in one spot here. Don't be shy. I only play bite. I'm not a fear biter, okay? So just get in here. Let's have fun. Here, let me get you guys up. All right, lovers, I'm in the chat. You feel me inside you? Kenny Powers up in here. What's up, lover? I got a mod, thank God. We need him over here. It gets wild. Michael Earl, Johnny Z, Butter Knives, Funny Face. What's up, gentlemen? Everybody, welcome. Thanks for coming to hang, guys. This is going to be interesting. And listen, I know there's some people that have a tendency to look, guys, I hope you guys realize now that I don't have like some identity to defend or whatever. I like to watch people debate, and I like to score it how I like to score it. I'm not someone that's like trying to toe some political party line or something where this is a free thought zone, okay, over here. So, but I think you guys will find this interesting too. And maybe just, because we kind of have over here, we have the standard where we really don't try to just haphazardly defend, some bias or something. That we might actually be able to score this properly and see this rage quit. I call it rage quit, but it might actually be very justified, guys. It appears on the surface that this, no one should be treated like this as an adult participating in a debate, especially someone that has a following, a respectable following, and track record in terms of like debating and that shit. I won't speak on his personal life. We may make some jokes later. I don't know, but I'm not. Anyway, let's move on. Funny Face Lover, Maddie P's in here. What's up? Thank God I got another mod. Maddie, we need you. Help me. If Destiny fans come in here and start bullying me, guys, I need some backup, please. Promo codes in here. What's up, Lover? We got another mod. Thank God. Oh, over the Twitter, Lit Hits in here. What's up, bro? What's up, Paul? Doxed. Hutch. My Hutch is in here. Funny Face Lover. Scrolling. Scott Starbird, what's up, Lover? Got another mod. Bro, I'm sorry I missed. I was in and out of your deal, and I couldn't get in the chat until way later. I've had a busy last few days. Oh shit! I barely made it on here on time, guys. I really wanted to. We're not going to go super late. That's why I was very like right on time with the stream. Pretty much, I think I was 30 seconds late, if that. I despise Destiny. He's a reprehensible person. Look, I don't know. I didn't expect to go down this road of I just wanted to judge judge this video on the actual, judge it on the terms of it being a debate, and just like, not judging the personalities, so to speak, of the people. I mean, we are. No, sorry, I take that back. We're going to talk. I plan to talk shit about people. But look, the thing is, this is actually, it appears that this was actually bullshit. So whatever you think about Destiny, I feel we could still be objective here in judging this in terms of it being a debate. K-Dog's up in here. What's up, K-Dog? All right, I'm about caught up. Damn, Maddie, bro. Look, chill, dude. I don't find anything Destiny does in the least bit interesting. He's a disgusting human being. All right, well, listen. What exactly are you referring to? What exactly? Because look, I have my critiques about a lot of I will say, well, everybody. I like to talk shit, but listen, I have my issues with I don't know if you're referring to what. I mean, like Vosh had his issues with the lolly shit. Guys, look, I don't know what the fuck. I can't imagine some argument. This is going to sound bad. I don't care. You're never going to get me as a person. Guys, where's my marker? Where's my marker? We did the thing where I drew stick figures. You remember where I drew stick figures? Listen, I'm never going to You're never going to find me trying to get some prosecutor to go after somebody for drawings of stuff. Right? So I was never, I don't know what the fuck flashed on Vosh's screen for his he seems like he's survived. He's doing fine. I watch his stuff sometimes. I'm interested in their ideas. I don't care like what they get off to, so to speak, as long as they're not actually like hurting somebody. I don't even know what isn't Destiny still dealing with some bullshit in court? It's I like watching Destiny and Vosh and these people debate and express their ideas and especially critiquing the Trump administration and stuff like that. And I am actually genuinely that interested in what they have to say. Not that I'm to agree with everything, but just like they're good speakers and they're intelligent, but to the extent that I am that interested, it makes me completely uninterested almost in the personal shit. And it's too convenient, I will say, far too convenient that there's like dirt on Destiny that allows some conservatives to try to dismiss his arguments. It's too convenient because let's be real. I'm not saying like every MAGA person's retarded. I'm saying there are definitely some fucking complete political hacks who are scared of people like Vosh and Destiny and Hassan even, because they're that good at debating and they are too thrilled that they can try to pretend like it's somebody that's too beneath them because of some controversy he talked about getting some kid to like, guys, this was the early days of the internet. I would never do that, but I don't think he's like an actual a chizo mizzo, a PDF. I think it's just internet brain behavior from back in the day before there was like any standard for what the fuck anybody should be doing on the internet. Say what you will. I mean, it's fine. DMS about no shit. Oops. DMS about to draw Muhammad. No, what I was doing, you guys remember when we talked about the Vosh? We talked about the Vosh stuff, right? The lolly stuff, because we watched some video where there was a guy that got busted, and we were talking all this shit about this guy that got busted because I thought, you guys know I don't pre-watch stuff on here, and then I normally like to find something interesting after getting 2 minutes into something. You can normally tell, like sometimes with a video, if it's going to be like, if it's a topic that I think is interesting, and then when I start to get into it a little bit, you can sometimes tell. And so I'm like, oh, I'm saving this. That's normally what I fucking do. But anyway, we were watching this thing with this PDF getting busted, what I thought was somebody who victimized kids. So I was being rough on the guy. And then at the end of the video, we find out it's just like some like AI generated stuff, which is like weird. And I don't like, I wouldn't condone, I wouldn't, encourage somebody to do that, to create weird, like, AI generated stuff of controversial, in terms of age. I wouldn't encourage someone to create that kind of stuff, but I will never be like, oh yeah, well, who the fuck is the victim? I'm just like, this is the same shit. It's almost like drug law type of stuff. There's no victim. I'm sorry. The people are into weird shit. As long as you don't actually have a tendency to hurt somebody, I just like, it's hard for me to say you should put somebody in a fucking cage with people who are actual murderers and stuff. I mean, for real? I don't know. I'm just, it seems wild. But anyway, we're going way off into the wrong direction. Let's pull up this video. Destiny triggers delusional MAGA crypto brothers. I think this is the like longer version. Hold on. Because everywhere on Twitter I looked, no one had the full deal. It's just 45 minutes here. I guess this has to be the same thing. There's on the Destiny clip page, there's a 45 minute video, and then on Destiny's actual page, there's a 30-some minute. I guess we'll go to his page. Let's see what happens here. So what basically, it looks like they just mute the fuck out of him, and he gets sick of it. Dude, Destiny should, on the surface, this looks completely justified that he should fucking quit. What a waste of time to have somebody on a panel, someone who's actually like, you know, again, you can argue about personalities and whatever and judge, but he's a good debater. And at least what we could see in the clip, on the surface, it didn't seem like he was being a brat or being a fucking troll or something. I don't know.
Just on a quick thing, like even that statement is conservative propaganda. Like you say that like the left owned every platform. Fox News has been the largest cable news network in the United States for like decades. Every single talk radio program, except for like NPR, was a conservative talk radio program.
Kevin Gable. Oh, chat moved. Kevin Gable over on the Facebook. What's up, bro? Thank you guys on the Facebook for hitting the like. I appreciate it. What are you guys saying? Destiny Jr. over Destiny? You're saying his son? Yeah, guys. Well, okay. So I was going to say this earlier, Matty P. I know, you know, I'm not going to flip you on your opinion on Destiny or whatever. That would definitely take more than one stream, I think. But when Alex Stein interviewed, I don't know if something else has happened. I feel like there's something that I don't know. The kid has done interviews and stuff. I don't know if any other, like, something weird has come up in some other interview or something. But when he got interviewed by Alex Stein, our boy, the pimp on a blimp, it was a really good interview. And it seemed like Destiny was a good dad. The kid seemed like he is a level-headed kind of, you know, young guy. And it didn't seem like he was talking shit about Destiny or anything. I don't know. It gave me the impression. And even Alex Stein said that it seemed like Destiny is a good dad. So, I don't know.
The people that work in the arts tend to be more left-leaning, yeah, sure, but they're not out here being like explicitly political in the same way that Joe Rogan is. That was my comparison between Joe Rogan and Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift can come out one time and tell you, hey, vote for Kamala, but she's not making music about taking the vaccines and, you know, behaving in lockdown and loving Palestinians like Joe Rogan is doing episode after episode after episode, carrying water for the current administration. Donald Trump has people flying around the planet right now doing scam deals with his family, Witkoff, in ways you've never... No, I'm not. I'm just giving you facts, but you don't know any of them. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Please.
Dude, I fucking love this, guys. I love when Destiny starts dropping fucking facts on people and just stuff they never heard. You can just tell, you can look in their eyes and see that they're just lost.
You have no idea what you're talking about. MBS just gave a $2 billion loan.
Dana, you got to control the room. You got to control poor Destiny there. His destiny is forsaken to the left.
Jesus. You're about as quick as Trump is right now with his retorts. Nice job.
Say you want to take the definition of like radicalization?
In the broadest of sense, it's basically getting a group of people to adopt a very extreme set of political beliefs or ideas.
So you guys are going down the political route. Like, would this be like the Nick Fuentes characters, all the celebrity people that are basically becoming influencers and community leaders and tribe builders?
Yeah.
Wow, your fucking mic. What is going on? Dude, isn't this guy supposed to be like a rich guy, a Cardone? This is Gary Cardone. I don't even know. I just know, wasn't Grant Cardone the one that really started off the heat with this? Or I don't know. Why is his mic so fucking terrible?
Okay, cool. I thought this debate. So the reason I thought this Dana did a especially phenomenal job with this lineup. Fishback is kind of the candidate that comes out.
Everybody sounds like shit. I mean, guys, my mic's not the best. It's just a shitty Sennheiser. But like, these people are rich. These guys have way more money than me.
Of this wing, so like says a lot of very hot topics.
You have more money than me. You better have a better mic.
Controversial things, kind of that speak to, right, like he proposed a 50% tax on OnlyFans girls, proposed 100% alimony, like men lose everything if they cheat on their, like he's got a lot of policies that I won't say are traditionally conservative because they're kind of big government, but specifically appeal to kind of this young group of right-wingers who were raised in internet culture. So I think that the debate, I guess we got to choose teams. Right. I think there's a lot of ways we could take this debate that'll make it interesting.
So, Gary, can we choose the teams?
Bro, I will say, no. Butterknife says I like Sennheiser. Dude, this mic is like over 15 years old. What is it? I forget what the fucking model is. It's an E35, guys. It's an E35. Or wait, sorry, 8 E35 or E. Sorry, I'm reading. I'm retarded. So it's an E835. What did I say at first? I don't care. So anyway, yeah, dude, this mic is not bad. I should get a new one. It was, I think a couple $100 when I first bought it. Over 15 years ago for music purposes. I still use it for music, but yeah, this mic's old as fuck and it works like perfectly. And it's been dropped and stuff too.
Are you going to choose the teams?
No, you guys tell me where you want me. Y'all break it up how you want me. Just tell me where you want me.
I want Dustin and Destiny.
Every time that guy talks, it sounds like
to be on a team together against Gary and Marty. Dustin, what do you think about that? Because I think that you're going to be the one to be able to articulate that side, even though you're...
I'm good with that. I mean, listen, I'm naturally a right winger, but I can definitely do some things to pick up part the online right, so I'm down for that.
Okay, Gary, unless you want to be on Destiny's team.
We're representing the...
You're representing that, no, people online are not being, they're not being radical. These young men are not being radicalized by the online right. This is just meant to happen. There were not a lot of strong men
we'll see.
now, and now they're kind of catching up. They're getting influenced online properly. Destiny does not believe this. I don't want to put words in your own mouth, Destiny, but Destiny and Dustin are going to be taking the opposite side of that.
I don't believe that people are being radicalized online, or?
Yeah, that, the online right is actually a bad thing. It is radicalizing the young generation and young men.
That's what I do believe, or that I would have the opposite belief of that?
That's what you do believe.
Yeah, okay, just making sure, yeah, correct, all right.
Okay, so Dustin and Destiny against Gary and Marty. You'll have 2 minutes.
Okay, so they're debating, it's these two guys on a team debating these two guys on a team about, hold on a second. Does the other guy come in here? What? Okay, yeah, right? Okay, yeah. We're watching the right video, just making sure. Okay. And they're debating what? If the online right wing shit is dangerous, I think something like that. Lock in.
Your opening argument. Dustin, I'd like you to go first.
All right, so the online right, so just to dive in and give some definitions, we have an issue with people following a bunch of supposed influencers who are neither right-wing nor have the best interest of the people who are following them in mind. So, right, I would generally categorize this, you see it in the quote-unquote manosphere, and it's leading to a degradation of societal norms that are important. It preaches a version of permanent victimhood of we're the ones who are constantly being attacked, white men are constantly under attack, everybody is under attack, I am a permanent victim.
Oh, Kirk, what's up, Kirk? Welcome. Yes, because he wants people to rent from him. Who? Guys, I felt a chill. Icy's in here. I felt a chill go up my spine. That's why I checked the chat. What's up, Icy?
In society at large, it preaches it's very anti-relationship. So this goes back to the last couple.
Oh, Cardone. Okay.
episodes where we've talked about this division between men and women. Online right radicalization that I definitely want to emphasize here specifically targets women. All women are hoes. They're all a bunch of whores. They're all going to step out and cheat on you. You shouldn't bother trying to have a relationship because it's just not going to work out for you or a young right-winger guy. It's definitively anti-Israel, anti-foreign policy, anti-American might and strength. For the full case, men are being led to follow a bunch of people who claim that they're against toxic masculinity, aren't masculine. Right? These are not the people that we want our young men emulating and trying to be like. We end up with a very bad position as a result.
Thank you very much.
Marty, why don't you go, Marty?
Taking the opposite. It's going to be hard because I sort of agree, but maybe we'll point to causation. Maybe the online right has as much influence and as big of an audience as it does because they're simply highlighting things that are obvious to many younger millennials and Gen Z that exist today. So it's objectively hard to find a good paying job. It's objectively hard to find a mate, a wife, if you will. And I guess the online right has recognized this and is simply broadcasting. I'm seeing this problem too, and people are drawn to the light of people broadcasting their own problems that they see. And it's not the online right that's radicalizing these people, simply the system that exists. And I think even prefacing this as the online right radicalizing young men is only half truth. I think both sides of the aisle can be charged with radicalizing young men, whether you're progressive or a conservative. And I think the core of the problem is the system, the uniparty system that they've grown up in that really hasn't
Erwin Fletcher, what's up, bro? Welcome.
provided them with the opportunities to live a life that their parents and grandfathers did, get a good job, get a house, pay off a mortgage, have some excess disposable income to go on vacations, have a family that you're able to have live in a neighborhood that's relatively safe and has people living in it that abide by the rules. And so
whoop, chicken head.
So I think you can make a strong argument that the system radicalized these young men and the influencers that are sort of grabbing their attention or sort of have influence because they're vocalizing something that these young men have intuited over time through their experience. So and the core of the problem isn't the influencers, it's the system that's pushing them towards them.
Thank you, Marty. Destiny, I'm eager what you have to say in response to this. I'll give you 2 minutes as well.
Sure. I mean, my statement is going to be pretty simple on this. Like, I think that there's always going to be some level of discontent with anything. Like nobody would say they have a perfect life where everything's going perfectly. I think that right now there is an online media ecosystem that is especially capitalized on by the right that tries to take all of that discontent and funnel it into, I would say, very unproductive.
Destiny talks really fast, guys. Do we need to slow it down when he talks and just speed it back up when everybody else talks? Do we need to do that? Can we keep up?
Conversation areas
lock in
by basically getting people to be upset and then getting people to aim at things that are either unachievable or would never do anything to address the issues they have. So it might be taking how upset somebody is about unaffordable housing and then channeling that into anti-immigrant sentiment. It might be somebody's upsetness about their perceived unfairness with government debt and how difficult life is for them and how much money the government is spending and inflation, and then channeling that into worthless projects like Doge. I think this is a unique kind of infrastructure that's been set up on the right that comes from the top down. The president coordinates with his cabinet people who coordinate with people in the media, who coordinate with people in the alternative media, and then this kind of outrage machine just like perpetually funnels especially young people through these seemingly apolitical spaces like the Joe Rogan podcast into these political spaces where they find themselves supporting politicians who aren't really doing anything to alleviate any of the discontent that they were originally capitalizing on to monetize their podcasts.
Can you maybe phrase it in a way that I can understand a little bit better? What's the problem?
So I would say basically, there's several problems, but I would say the big thing is that I think more than at any point, at least in my life, it feels like every single topic has become heavily political and everybody has to be involved in politics. So if you're listening to any podcast, they're going to have a position on like Leah Thomas and trans people or the Iran war or the cost of housing or whatever. And as a result of that, every single person now is starting to feel like they have to be part of some political group or tribe. And I feel like the people on the right have plugged into that such that they're able to kind of give their talking points to all of these podcasters who then spread it to the population. So a person who in the past might have listened to Joe Rogan because they thought that he was just interesting now has a lot of what I would say are just really battered down ideas related to COVID and the vaccines or related to foreign policy or Doge or Democratic politicians or conspiracies in general.
So you say, hey, it's from the right. And I think what I hear you saying is there's organizations on the political side on the right, I guess that's the conservatives and the Republicans, MAGA, that are organizing people like the Joe Rogans, maybe not exactly Joe Rogan, but you use that name.
Yeah,
so
exactly him, yeah.
So that young boys would be indoctrinated into the regime of the right. Is that correct?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
And that would suggest to me now that, and maybe this is the reason we sometimes have arguments with human beings, is that the left does not do that.
The political left doesn't know. I think there's like an extreme left that does this to some extent, but they're not really interested in political power. They don't have like representation in Congress or anything. They just exist in these online spaces. Whereas on the right, they're the Congress under the president.
Just that all the influencers and social media people that have big followings and big groups, they're all writers. They're all on the right. By the way, am I one of those guys? Am I on the right?
I'm not familiar with your content in particular, so I couldn't say, but it feels like
what qualifies for being on the right?
There's kind of like a collection of beliefs that we could look at or analyze. Depends on, I guess, specifically what we're talking about. In the very broadest sense, it's like, did you support Trump in the 2024 election? I would say.
Okay, so if you supported Trump in that election, you're on the right. Anyone that did not choose to participate in that vote or voted for Kamala or voted for somebody else, are they on the left?
Yeah, I would say in the broadest sense, yeah. But I think one issue is that when you think about the people on the right who were supportive of Donald Trump, these people were like proselytizing. These people were talking so much about the importance of the election. Like compare like Joe Rogan to Taylor Swift. When Taylor Swift came out and endorsed Kamala.
Why don't we compare Joe Rogan to Anderson Cooper at CNN? Because I think the comparison is probably better.
Sure. Although the point that I'm trying to make is that like Joe Rogan, 5 or 10 years ago, I don't think was seen as like an expressly political figure like Anderson Cooper, Sean Hannity.
I would say, I bet you if we did a survey, I bet you 100 boners that most people would say he's apolitical. I think he's apolitical.
Joe Rogan? Yeah, I agree. They would say that now, but that would be an absurd claim to make, I think.
Well, he doesn't have a political show. I mean, this is not a political show, but it's near impossible not to talk about politics when they're literally in your face.
Dude, so I will say one thing with Destiny. I think he scores Joe Rogan just kind of like off. I don't think he judges Joe Rogan's content exactly fairly. I mean, I don't know. We could probably see this is the thing is I don't know how Joe picks his guest or whatever, who the fuck knows. But you may be able to argue that Joe might have more people on his show that are like right wing or whatever. But dude, Joe is actually, demonstrably one of those people that, and I'm not even trying to be a dick because I do like Joe. I like a lot of content that has come from his podcast, and it's not just stuff. There's stuff with my health that is actually, guys, there's stuff that I have adapted or adopted into my routine because we've been through this recently. I had a little bit of a health scare, and I've fixed it with my diet. I'm not taking any fucking pharmaceuticals. I just tried to fix my diet up, and I'm good. And part of that came from watching Joe's show. And it's not just like I hear something on Joe's show, so I just do it. Like if he said to drink bleach, I would just drink bleach or something. That's retarded. No, but like it's a Joe's show. That might be the problem, is that Joe's show, it might not be the greatest for some people who like are actually a little bit dumb and will just hear some weird shit on his show and not look into anything themselves like you're kind of supposed to, I don't know. There's been a few times I've seen Destiny react to clips from Joe's show, and he actually was surprised of how fairly he would score certain shit. And, I feel like I can't tell if there is some deeper thing in terms of what Joe Rogan will promote on his show versus what he won't, or ideas that he will allow to be entertained or promoted on his program. If there's a monetary aspect to it, from what I've heard, he just has people on that he wants to have on. I don't know if there may be some people that have said like, oh, if certain people, whatever Middle Eastern country can pay him and get on the show and whatever. I don't know how the fuck he picks his people and whatever, but I feel like it's a good show to have an open discussion with crazy ideas. You guys know I cover the Terrence Howard stuff. Terrence Howard went on there, and Joe pretty much let him say whatever the fuck he wanted to say. Maybe we could even take a look at my Terrence. This was before I started streaming. I did a video about the Terrence Howard thing. And Joe let him say a bunch of crazy stuff, and some of it was out there and probably completely bullshit, and some of it was very valuable information. And unfortunately, he doesn't know how to do math, but there were some other interesting concepts discussed and interesting, and not saying that they're true, but and then other true things that were talked about that maybe some people didn't know, like the Tuskegee thing. I'll move on. I don't want to. I should have carnied that up. Tuskegee. Anyway. I think Destiny views a lot of stuff on Joe Rogan's show that if he has a guest, it's completely endorsed. But I don't know that he watches. I think probably less left-wing people end up on Joe's show. I don't know if that's an intentional thing or not. It might be. But Maddie said Joe doesn't challenge his guests enough, in my opinion. Dude, it's weird. It's a toss-up. That's what I'm talking about. That's one of the things that I'm talking about is like, I don't know if there is some bigger thing, like he gets paid or something. where with some people can come on and not get challenged as much. But even the fucking, what's the Bart? I forget his last name. The Bart, whoever the fuck, the guy, the moon landing hoax guy came on his show, and Joe actually challenged him on stuff, you know, and it was actually kind of surprising. You know, and so it's weird. There are people that come on and they talk about certain shit, and Joe, I don't know if it's because it's something, an area he has knowledge of. Bart Simpson. Yeah, that's who it was. The moon landing guy, Bart Simpson. I don't know, like Terrence Howard, he didn't seem to like push back that much. He kind of just let the guy spout off. And maybe that, you know, if unfortunately, like I said, there might be some people who are highly influential, and I don't know, that maybe shouldn't watch Joe Rogan's show because they're kind of actually dumb and won't even try to like fact check anything. They'll hear something, and instead of going, that's an interesting idea to look into, they go like, I'm sold. Let me start, you know, whatever. I don't know. What's one thing? Ivor Miz Actiz
every day.
Well, but I think they're in your face every day because people like Joe Rogan put them in your face every day. This guy has cabinet level officials on, you know, frequently. He's got people talking about politics on all the time. You know, he brings on people to talk about like Dave Smith and
all the time. I would suggest that is all he does. And I've seen a lot of stuff by him that does aliens and psychedelic things. And there's a lot of non-political content on Joe Rogan stuff, man.
He does do semi-political content, but I mean, you don't feel like in the past 5 years, his content has taken a much heavier political bend than it did in the 5 years prior to that, like prior to COVID?
I think the audience would say to you, his growing audience would say that is what the audience is interested in. And I'll bet you that he doesn't have a bunch of 14-year-old followers. I bet you it's a lot of, you know.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, guys. I don't know if that's intentional. I don't know if that's really intentional or if that's just like, again, I've heard that I don't want to give away a topic we're going to talk about sometime in the near future. That's a couple times I've been talking and I get caught up because I want to say it and I'm trying to stop myself. But anyway, yeah, guys, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with it, because from what I hear, Joe just kind of, if you're on Joe's radar, it's like you're better off not to try to get on the show. Like if you're on his radar and he picks you, then you come on the show, and that's how it is. I don't know if that's entirely true, but dude, consciously, I don't see Joe's show as a right-wing show. But yeah, I don't know.
A guy's probably my age and your age.
Yeah, sure. But I bet the average age of Joe Rogan skews much younger than Fox News or CNN. I think people in the podcast world in general.
Oh, most certainly. Okay. But I think, see, what I'm hearing you say is I'm hearing you encapsulate a concept that a particular group of people that voted for Trump have this agenda to push influencers. Now, clearly people are getting paid, but you're suggesting that it's the guys on the right. Now, I thought we were going to have a different conversation. Mm-hmm. Like I would just remind people of this is the online propaganda. Just because people on the left were late to the internet and late to the World Wide Web, maybe they were too busy trading their own stock positions, but they clearly did not use in the last 8 years the internet and social media to get elected.
Yeah, I agree. That's my entire argument.
They really missed that.
The right
what
did
they do? They used a propaganda machine for the last 6.
Scott Starver said Terrence Howard was using old math that humans used before we were allowed to use science. Bro, I don't know what the fuck kind of math Terrence. I forget there was like a couple weird things. Wasn't one thing with pi, and he said the banks, he basically, it was, dude, one of the more insane things was he was actually saying like the banks are using a trick with math to steal our money. And the part of the trick was 1 times 1 actually equals 2. That's like, he was basically saying they're funneling our money away. That's why everyone's broke, is because really 1 times 1 isn't 1. 1 times 1 is actually 2, according to Terrence Howard. That's the trick that the juice are using.
60 years of my life, from CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS to The View, all of the movies I have ever seen from Hollywood came from the extreme left. I don't really understand what you're saying. You're saying just the right guys are paying people to propagandize.
Well, I'm not saying they're necessarily paying them. I mean, they're audience capture. They get money because they have an audience doing it. I don't think
they're paying them. They're motivating them. They're going to get them followers, or they're going to get them money. They're motivated, right? That's what y'all are saying. People are motivated to push the agenda for the extreme right.
Correct.
That's what I think I'm hearing.
Yep.
And you're saying that is not happening on the left.
Correct.
Do you have any, like, can you, because you have no evidence or just claim it?
Well, the question would be, what are the equivalent podcasts on the left, to your Joe Rogans, to your Candace Owens, like what are your equivalent size? These are some of the largest podcasts in America. Like, you look at the top 10.
I can't help it if your team has no articulate people that can draw a crowd. I mean, it's not our fault if I'm on the right, because I am.
Sure, I voted for Trump. Now you're just justifying why it is the way that it is.
And therefore, I'm pushing a agenda. Like I have not done that. Okay, I've not supported fake news being propagated to a bunch of young kids. I'm going to shut up here in a second. I just wanted to identify the argument, because I don't think we're quite there yet. But anyone that thinks an influencer is the problem. The problem is the parents whose son had so little parenting and so little mentorship that they had to go look to some other man or woman to be that mentor, leader, or symbol of truth and base. And I think that's the real issue we have here. I would never have been incorporated into a bad group of people because I had a good set of parents, and they gave me some good basic rules. I've been attempted to be indoctrinated in a ton of cults, and it never happened. For me, if we're really going to blame this phenomenon, we're going to have to break it down and go, well, what is this young group of people? Is it Dana's age, or is it 15? Right?
Sniz is in the chiz. What do you mean you're alive barely? Are you okay? What's up, Snizzy?
I think we're talking about just for age range. I think we're talking about probably the teen to mid 20s age range is what a lot of people are fixated on right now.
So I mean, Destiny threw out. What's interesting is if we're debating on causation, and I come at it closer to Gary, right? Which is, I actually think that the fact that there wasn't an outlet for the right is what led to all of this right wing. Gary pointed out they controlled music, Hollywood, and the news and television, and as a result, the pendulum
colleges
always swings too far to the other side. I think that's kind of like the ground I would take. But I gotta say, Destiny threw out 5 hot button topics that we've waited for people who would come on and debate with us. Right? He brought up vaccines. He brought up Trump. He brought we could turn this could become a very fiery debate very quickly. I think in a way that I think would be really entertaining for everybody watching.
Dude, I would love to have a conversation with Destiny about the vaccines. I really would. I don't mean a fiery debate where we call each other cucks and argue over who could suck a dick better, which would definitely be me. But, I really would love to have a conversation. I don't know if he would want to. He would probably think I'm an undercover right winger that's just trying to clip farm or something. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I feel like we could have an interesting conversation about the topic. And I think and you guys know this, and I'm sure there might be some Destiny person that'll watch this eventually. I kind of think that the conspiracy people were more right about the vaccine stuff, and I'd love to have a full convo with Destiny or somebody on the other side about that. And I'm sure I could get them to understand why that is a completely sensible take.
Who should share the stream debate?
Sure. Just on a quick thing.
Based take.
Even that statement is conservative propaganda. You say that the left owned every platform. Fox News has been the largest cable news network in the United States for decades. Every single talk radio program, except for NPR, was a conservative talk radio program. The people that work in the arts tend to be more left leaning. Yeah, sure. But they're not out here being explicitly political in the same way that Joe Rogan is. That was my comparison between Joe Rogan and Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift can come out one time and tell you, hey, vote for Kamala. But she's not making music about taking the vaccines and, behaving in lockdown and loving Palestinians like Joe Rogan is doing episode after episode after episode, carrying water for the current administration. That's what I'm saying. It's not the same.
They turned late night comedy into one long Trump diss for the last 12 years. Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, and who's the other one? Jimmy Fallon. 90% of their monologues were just Trump hate, Trump nonsense, Trump headlines, right? They literally destroyed comedy. We did see in comedy clubs, comedy in general, they completely turned the culture into just anti-Trump. And to be honest, they exposed themselves in doing so.
I mean, right? the comedy scene has destroyed itself with every single joke having to be about how cancel culture is horrible and whatever else. A lot of these guys are painfully unfunny now, and for some reason they all find themselves defending literally the wealthiest men on the planet, which is kind of antithetical to a lot of what comedians used to do. Number one, right. and then number two. Shoot, I just my sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean Colbert.
Number two. When you talk about these guys, that's the problem. One of the issues for a lot of these people is Donald Trump wanted to, in a way that no president in my lifetime that I can think of has ever done before. Donald Trump wanted to include himself in the popular culture. Donald Trump operates in a way where he wants everybody talking about him. He's constantly on Twitter or Truth Social in an unhinged and crazy way that no other president has ever been involved in before. So I mean, it's kind of weird that he would act in such a way, and then people I can't believe everybody's responding to him. Well, yeah, of course, that's what he's.
You should start a podcast and just do the anti-Trump thing and bring the lefties over with you. Everybody that didn't vote for Trump. I mean, there sounds like there's a lot of them.
Sure.
So
I mean, Biden got more votes than any president in all of U.S. history, and those were votes against Trump. So
what's it like to go to bed every night knowing that or believing that the most evil human being on the planet is running our country?
I mean, I would say it's pretty sad. We're destroying our relationship with the rest of the world. There are thousands of people that are dying around the world right now because of high energy costs. There are millions of people that are going to die because U.S. aid was cut. I mean, it's a pretty horrible feeling. I think our reputation is being destroyed around the planet. Our alliances are being undermined constantly. The security threat has gotten worse than it was before. Every promise Trump made seems completely
because right wingers like Joe Rogan have made the whole world toxic. Who else besides Joe? Joe's a big name. Who else is out there that's a naughty right wing banger?
Would you?
I'm not saying naughty right. I'm just saying that like these guys are like expressly and explicitly like politically partisan for Trump.
The person that you identified Trump as, anyone that would be pushing his agenda is also evil. So I'm just trying to get
I
the
never
list
said
of
evil. I said evil. I just said right wing.
Okay, let's go right wing then. Who else besides Joe R?
Well, I mean, it seems like almost every, if you want to talk about comedians, it seems like almost every single comedian on the podcast circuit, the guys from the All In podcast, the Avant.
You guys still got a lot to make jokes about, though. Let's be honest. I mean, just grab some jokesters, dude. There's plenty to laugh at about Trump. I would grab some comedians. I don't know where your talent is.
Well,
like you guys created Hollywood.
I mean, I guess our talent is the thing that's been in charge of creating all the media in this country in the past 50 years.
Maddie P says, in my opinion, our country was effed after 2000 when the Supreme Court decided the election. We've never recovered. It's only gotten way worse. You know, when I think what was the turning point, that a historic moment that effed this country up was when Ashley Simpson got busted lip syncing. You guys remember that? We've never recovered from that as a country. Life's never been the same.
That you conservatives literally ejected yourselves out of because you couldn't handle gay people being on TV. I mean, I don't know what you want to say. You said earlier that it's literally the left that controls all of our music and culture in Hollywood. So, and now it seems like comedians today, all they can do is make jokes about, I guess, like trans people in cancel culture. I guess if that's hilarious and edgy, I mean, that could be your thing. But
I wouldn't disagree that they're doing that. I think the comedian scene, particularly in Austin, they went all in on woke jokes, and it is a bit overplayed. But to say that the left, particularly in comedian, you have Stavros, you have the Comtown Boys, like Mullen, and Friedland. Those guys are pretty big audiences. They're very left leaning. Sam Piker yourself, and you guys are pretty big audiences too. And I think Gary, I would push back on you. I mean, Obama used the internet.
No, dude, it's funny. You said Theo is anti-Trump now. Dude, I've seen some of those clips too. I don't know if Destiny if he's seen enough of Joe's stuff. I don't know how much he reviews. He might review a lot of his stuff on his stream or whatever. He does like 8 hours, right? Who knows? But yeah, I feel like Joe has been kind of critical recently too. Maddie said, Steve, I don't get the reference. Bro, you don't get the reference? Ashley Simpson, you don't remember that? Jessica Simpson's younger sister, they tried to give her a career, and she got busted. She got busted lip syncing on, what show was it? SNL or Mad TV? SNL, right? Yeah. And then she blamed her band. She told everybody that they played the wrong song. But it was clearly like it just started playing a vocal track and she wasn't like ready or something. It was, I don't know. It was really funny.
To get elected better than anybody up to that point in 2008 and 2012. I think what we've seen in the last.
As you can see, it had a very, profound effect on me. And I remember it like it was yesterday.
5 years. I mean, you mentioned Fox News being the biggest conservative outlet on mainstream media.
Scarred me for life.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people that are being.
She started like dancing. Remember how terrible that was? She started doing like a honky tonk dance. It was the weirdest thing ever. It was like the cringiest moment that ever fucking happened on live TV. I could not believe it, and I'll never get that burned out of my skull. It's singed in there.
That we believe are being radicalized by these podcasters. Where I think there's a strong argument to be made that they're going to the podcasters because they're talking about things that they actually care about. They would view Fox News as like controlled opposition, like conservatives that don't actually conserve.
Do we need to pull the clip up, guys, of Ashley Simpson getting busted lip syncing? She started doing she started doing this thing like this. She started doing like she started doing like a Fortnite dance or something. Fortnite didn't even exist, guys. This cracked my mental state. It did something to my brain, guys.
Anything neocons that they don't agree with.
I think it affected the rest of you too. I think it did. I don't know if it's a subconscious thing. You guys might not realize it.
That because that's part of like the messaging, but the reality is the message carried on Fox News is the same message that's carried on.
Ruined this country.
These podcasts, like it's all the same messaging from the top down.
I don't think so. I think if you look at what's happening in Iran in the last month, Fox News and cheerleading. It's far
He just skipped around. Yeah, it was so weird. What the fuck? How did she not? I have to give it to her. I have to give it to her for being such a strong person that you don't just off yourself after that. I mean, She's gone. She disappeared, right? I don't even know if she's on Twitter or anything, but I assume I would have heard if she offed herself. I give her credit for not offing herself after that, because I'm not sure that I wouldn't have.
Right, podcasters are.
Who about PBD? Is PBD one of these guys? Like, I don't know all the.
PBD, I would say, yeah, right wing, yeah, of course, carries tons of water for the current administration, of course, yeah.
And who else is a bad man or woman? Candace? Did I hear Candace?
Yep, she'd be another one of them, yeah.
What about Charlie Kirk? Was he the most evil person too, or?
Most evil? No, but he was also carried a lot of water for the Trump administration, yeah.
Okay. So am I that guy too? Because I gave Trump administration 12.8 Bitcoin.
Probably then, yeah, you would be another guy who's a right winger.
I'm on that list. Okay. And then anybody else? Any other big influencers that I haven't named?
Is there anything bad with being right wing? Like, I support the Democrats. I would consider myself a left wing person. I don't know what.
Oh, it's very clear where you land, bro. It's very clear. But the thing is, I've judged where you're at, and I think you've judged where I'm at, and I think one of us is really wrong.
You think I'm left wing?
I think you hate anyone that voted for Trump. That's what I think. I think you distrust anyone that voted for Trump. The way you use your words, we're never ever going to get along if you think, hey man, he carried water for the devil, dude. He carried water.
Like, look, Destiny doesn't hate every Trump supporter, guys. He just thinks it'd be funny if they got shot at the rallies. That's all. He doesn't hate them. Come on.
You're the only one. You're the only one. You're the one who brought up the word evil and like devil. Like, I never any of these things.
He just said he wished all the volunteer firefighters that are MAGA supporters would get taken out at Trump rallies. He doesn't mean he hates all of them.
Have known me a long time. I tend to bring up words that are fitting for the occasion. And bro, the way you're talking, just survey the group. Okay, I will bet you the group will say, "Hey, you make Trump sound like he's the devil incarnate."
We haven't even talked about Trump yet. You're throwing around all these words like I'm calling you evil. Okay. My whole point was just that I think there's a lot of people right now that are supportive of Trump on the right, are like right wing supporting people. That's part of the we haven't even gotten into the policies or anything else yet. You're the one that started wheeling out. You think we're evil and you want us on a list and you think we're demons. Or like I haven't said any of that. That's all your words, bro.
Okay, who else is on the list though? I would like to know who else are bad podcasters.
Never said anything about bad podcasters.
I want the audience to understand how broad this list is, though. Like because your viewpoint is anyone that's ever done. And if I have a friend at Mar-a-Lago right now, so he's going to be a bad guy. I mean, to me, you guys are going to.
Okay, so who is this? Gary Cardone, bro. Do you not watch the PBD podcast? I've been seeing more clips and stuff from PBD. I've been watching more stuff from PBD than I have Rogan recently. PBD is 100% for sure. Like, that is not a discharitable assessment of the PBD podcast that they're more pro-Trump. Of course they are. I mean, I think they've been somewhat critical. There's different guys that argue over, the Iran stuff and the Gaza stuff and whatever. But, for sure, they I think, lean towards supporting Trump pretty consistently. That's not even like crazy. Does this guy, do you even watch PBD?
Be really, really disappointed for the next 10 or 20 years if that's the viewpoint you have.
Well, we're coming up on a midterm where you guys are looking to lose the Senate in a way that was previously thought impossible.
You know what? Us losing the Senate and Congress that is not the debate tonight, dude. And quite frankly, your life isn't going to change in 4 years relative to the Senate and the Congress. Okay, what's happening right now and the way you and I cannot even have a communication is the reason we are in the fucking position we're in, where political parties are no longer even human. We're looking at people like they're really bad.
I agree with you 100%, but this is on you right now. You're the one that took the conversation. You took the conversation. I am so like, you have some responsibility. Take some responsibility for what you're saying. You're the one that took the conversation here. You're the one that made this heavy as fuck. Nobody else is doing it until you start throwing around words like
before we go further, I just need a list of 5 more guys. 5 of your top guys that are the big offenders. That's all I need, and I'll be quiet.
What was the host going to say?
I was trying to.
I want to know 5 more. Is Andrew Tate always on there? If we need to feed you names, we will.
No,
but I want to know.
I think you need a cigarette. I think you need to calm down. You're out of control right now.
I want to know the
very
list.
emotional right now.
I don't like jumping around on conversations. This is what people do when they're not firm in their base. They move conversations around all over the place.
You're the one who's been moving this entire conversation. Was the question how many?
Spend a lot of time looking at this. Just give me 5 more.
Dude, okay, this guy is kind of dumb. I hesitate to say retarded because I have no clue who this is, and we're pretty, I'm only 24 minutes into being exposed to this guy, and it's been a lot of him asking questions, but I hesitate to say that he may in fact be retarded. He's the one that he's the one directing the conversation, asking the questions and stuff. What I don't know, why is he saying we can't have a conversation? You're having a conversation. What's wrong? Are you about to cry or something? What's going on?
More than I have. What do you want 5 names of people that I think support Donald Trump?
I mean, Dustin, maybe you can give me some names, suggest some names, because I don't know all these guys.
What is the point? What do you want the names for? I can list off. I think Constantine Kissin and his co-host on Trigonometry, I think support Trump, but that's true. You mentioned PBD. I would say he supports Trump. I think Tim Pool and his show, I think they support Trump. Candace Owens and Fuentes not as much anymore, although they supported him come time the election was around. I think everybody on Fox News supports Donald Trump. Tucker Carlson does his own show now, and he supports Donald Trump. There's a myriad of these new kind of like mini influencers on Instagram and TikTok that I've debated that support Trump. People like Fishback, who's supposed to be here tonight, he supports Trump. I mean, yeah, obviously the Tates do.
Dude, so it's weird. I don't watch that much of Tucker's stuff, but maybe he does for the most part support Trump, but he's been highly critical of a lot of the stuff Trump has been doing, the Iran stuff, right? He had that Joe Kent guy on who was basically saying that the Trump admin's FBI is up to something with the Kirk case. I don't know.
I mean, what else do you want me to say? I can name off podcasts. What's the point?
That's all I wanted to know. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So
okay. Go ahead, Dustin. Go ahead.
Well, no,
does anybody in the chat really watch a lot of Tucker consistently? Does he do a lot of defending of Donald Trump on his show? But that Tucker is now anti-Trump. Dude, I kind of thought Tucker was more like critical of him as of late.
Jump in. Listen, I think that this is indicative. What's interesting is that one of the divides that I think caused the current, like the back and forth between Dustin and Gary, is the refusal to accept how dominant left-wing culture has been propagandized.
Yeah, they fired Pam Bondi. I heard that too, guys. I already had. That's not something worth making the full topic of the stream. Really, I mean. We saw that coming, guys. She was the Miss America, U.S. Americans meme, straight up as a member of the Trump administration. It was terrifying.
The country as a whole, and that domination has right academia.
She got fired, and she's taken all the videos of Epstein with her.
Schools.
Damn it! I said his name. I didn't mean to say his name. I'm sorry. Please redact that.
Entertainment, television, music, like people were so inundated with it, it makes sense that we're going to have back and forth. This idea that, right, and it makes sense. The left would scream that they lost the monopoly because they don't control all of the podcasts like individually. But with that said, I think there's still room for us to seriously talk about whether or not the pendulum has swung too far as a result, which is, right, because there's no more institutional norms, right? Because in order to work at a newspaper or to work on a comedy show or to work in television more broadly, you had to adhere to very specific doctrine. You had to use the same phrases over and over and over again that everybody else did. As a result, we pushed people out. And now we're kind of seeing the wiling out on the right of people who are able to say and do whatever they want, which has frankly destabilized the right in a way that's pretty significant, which is, and you see it with Trump, the left, Nancy Pelosi controlled her caucus with an iron fist. Like they voted for and said whatever Nancy Pelosi said. Donald Trump has to deal with everybody going every which way they want to, which makes it really difficult to govern. I think he's paying a price for that because the right wing, it is free to say and do whatever they want.
Okay, so one thing at a time. So when Donald Trump's a bad leader, that's the first issue. The reason why he can't do anything with Congress is because he's incapable of working with people to bring anybody to the table to do any deals for anything, right? This has been true historically of his businesses. This has been true historically of him as president in the first term. It seems like he has a huge issue like trying to sign trade deals. He hasn't.
All right, let's slow this down a little bit. Actually, we're getting close to the end. We'll put it normal speed so we can hear every word Destiny says.
Able to do that. He promised 100 deals in 100 days. We've got 0. He was complaining about how a war would start with Iran in prior administrations because people couldn't bring Iran to the table. He tore up the JCPOA, and now we're at war with Iran for the second time in his second term. We've like the idea that Donald Trump can't work with Congress because of some issue with Congress. I mean, it seems like this is Donald Trump's issue. We're on like our 4th or 5th or 6th government shutdown now under Donald Trump. I don't know how we're blaming Congress for this. It seems like the issue right now is with him.
Congress was a broken joke. I've been working on the stupid continuing resolutions and omnibus spending bills the better part of 15 years. And like Speaker Micro Johnson and Little Turtle John Thune, like the Republicans have failed to adhere to and step up to their policies for a long time.
Trump doesn't work with them. What are they supposed to do? Donald Trump has abandoned the Congress. He doesn't utilize them in any way, size, shape, or form.
Because they're not functioning.
No, they're there. They function. They can pass legislation. Biden passed a ton of legislation, didn't he?
I mean,
there were no shutdowns under Biden, right?
So the rage quit is coming, and I don't know if maybe I'm crazy, but I think. So what they're about to do is start muting Destiny. And I wonder if I know it appears that she is controlling the chat. Maybe I thought Destiny said, I have no clue. I don't know what this show is or whatever, but I think Destiny said she's the host, and I think she's controlling the chat right now. I don't know if it's her, but I was under the impression from the clips that I saw that it was Gary Cardone who was muting Destiny when all the drama starts. So I don't know if I kind of was thinking I wonder if he's up right now getting fucking text messages or calls from somebody being like, dude, that the Destiny guy, I don't know if you know this, but you need to just get him out of there. You need to just mute him because he's going to run his mouth and just like talk over you, and he talks really fast, and he'll bring up stuff that's just going to be really hard for you to respond to. You just need to mute him, man. I wonder if he actually got a call or something. I probably sound completely fucking crazy, but dude, he hasn't done any of this, any of the muting stuff yet at all. Let's see where this goes downhill.
We had the same
lock in.
Continuing resolution, same omnibus.
We had no shutdowns under Biden, and Biden passed legislation. Was that right or wrong?
It's right, but we had no regular spending, right? We haven't had constitutionally mandated regular spending.
Okay, so Biden was able to work with Congress to get the stuff.
Stole $3 trillion from the American public to start maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 internet connections.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
What are you talking about, bro? Nobody wants
Trump
to go
is
back to
literally
Joe
right now
Biden
running
days.
the
Hang on a
largest
second.
crypto
Nobody
scam in
wants
the
to go
history
back
of
to the
all
days of Joe
crypto
Biden.
scams.
Hold on,
Donald Trump has people
Trump.
flying around the planet right now doing scam deals with his family, Witkoff, in ways you've never. No, I'm not. I'm just giving you facts, but you don't know any of them. You have no idea what you're.
Dude, we played some of CoffeeZilla, but I think he did a lot of it on the Voidzilla channel, talking about the crypto stuff, guys. Yeah, I don't like it.
Talking about.
Please stop.
You have no idea what you're talking about. MBS just gave a $2 billion loan.
Dana, you got to control.
Grant Cardone just called him Diarrhea Destiny. You are a fucking retard. These people are famous for what? What the fuck are these people? They're so stupid. Why does anyone give a fuck what they have to say?
The room.
You got to control. Got to control poor Destiny there. His destiny is forsaken to the left.
Jesus. You're about as quick as Trump is right now with his retorts. Nice job.
Trump's doing a great job, my brother.
Trump's doing a dog shit job. The entire world.
Doing a phenomenal job.
Really? What part is phenomenal? The failures of Doge, the failures of the current Iran war, gas approaching, or we're going to do $200 a barrel. Like, what is the phenomenal part of Trump's job right now?
He's doing the job. If you sit down and just listen a couple seconds, you got 2 ears for a reason. Listen and you'll learn. Donald Trump is doing the job that the Bushes didn't do, Obama didn't do, the Clintons refused to do.
So they just muted Destiny right there. You'll see when it pops up. I'm not that familiar. I've never fucking muted somebody ever, so I have no idea, but I'm assuming when we see the muted thing pop up and then you see his mic with the cross thing, they're muting him every time. He's not muting himself.
Get done. He's doing it. Congress,
why did he lie? Wait, can you just tell me why?
I think he can unmute himself. See, they muted him again. They just keep muting him. I'm not too familiar with how, but I think he is able to unmute himself. He just clicks it and then he's unmuted. But I think I don't know if they perma mute him or if, I don't know. Anyway.
Why did he lie and say no new wars? Why did Trump lie and say no new wars if he was going to get rid of Iran?
That's right and left and everything in between.
Why did Trump lie?
He's muted right now. He doesn't realize it.
Why did Trump lie? Why did Trump lie?
Handled inflation until the last 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. We had it across the board.
Oh, I'm muted.
2, he's doing in Iran what he has to
Iran,
do.
Why did Trump lie
Excuse me, 2 ears, 1 mouth. You can do this, dude. You can do this. I believe in you, Destiny.
These guys are completely
I believe in
broken.
you. You can learn too, okay? Donald Trump has been in office 1 year.
3 or 4 out of 1.
Stopped inflation cold. We had lowest gas prices we've seen in 4 or 5 years. We had mortgage rates
4 or
starting to
5
come
years?
down
Oh
up
my
to 5
God.
weeks ago. He'll get that fixed as well. He's got his
Okay,
hands
hey,
full.
Grant.
He's doing a great job.
Grant, I think it's awesome, but look, let's get back on track on our debate. Okay, the debate
Well, can I just ask?
is.
Can I just
Yeah, I
ask a
just
question
got
of
into
like
the room,
why?
so I don't even know what the debate
Wait, can
was.
I just ask a question? Why did Trump lie about no new wars if he was going to come in and finish the job of the run?
Dustin, if you could.
Dude, this is so slimy. This is so slimy. AZ's up in here. What's up, bro? AZ, help us. When Clinton lied, no one died. Anyone remember that one? Bro, this is actually pretty fucking gross. So what I really wanted to watch the full thing to see if like Destiny was being really fucking nasty or something and being an asshole and trolling them. Because, you know, the clip that's going around is basically what you're seeing right now and the next couple minutes. And I would have said maybe it's excusable if he was like really acting out a little bit. If like there was something that could make me think he deserved it to some extent. But I mean, he's just trying to have a fucking good debate. He hasn't even been insulting or like, I don't know. This is actually... And this is what I'm saying too. I wonder if someone got a call or someone said, "Look, this Destiny guy is you have to get him out of there because he's making us look bad."
Get us back on track, Destiny. I need you. I muted you out again, Destiny.
It is him doing the muting, guys. Oh my God! I bet he got a call. I bet he got a call or a text.
To get to ask a single question?
You need to go get on the Pierce Morgan
I'm going to
show.
do it again, and I'll continue to do it. Grant, knock it off. I don't do rooms like this. I don't have debates with people that don't actually want to have a conversation, and you don't appear. So either sit here and listen, and we can start to learn to
These guys are such pussies. Oh my God, you guys suck.
appreciate each other's viewpoint, or you can leave the room, dude. I'm not going to have an argument with you.
I got
It's not
one
worth it.
more,
We're trying to
one more
help
mute, and
other people.
I'll
Okay,
ditch this.
You can do it,
Jesus
Destiny.
Christ.
Dustin, get us back on track, please.
Yeah. So listen, James Fishback didn't want to have this debate, and so I kind of think we need to kind of shift.
Wait, do I not get to respond to any of the stuff that was just said? Is that?
No, not right now.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
I'll get to it. Let me just reframe it. So
Okay. I'm good. All right. I got to move all my shit out of downstairs anyway. This is fucking retarded. I wonder if they ever even had James or if that was just a bait or if I got rug pulled.
Dude, they muted him again. Hold on.
I'll
Okay.
ditch this.
You can do it,
Jesus
Destiny.
Christ.
Dustin, get us back on track, please.
yeah. So listen, James Fishback didn't want to.
Dude, they really are this. I think he got a call and someone said, you need to put a leash on that motherfucker. A muzzle, better yet.
Have this debate, and so
Ball gag, butt plug, nipple tassels. Sorry, guys.
I kind of think we need to kind of shift.
Wait, do I not get to respond to any of the stuff that was just said? Is that?
No, not right now.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
I'll get to it. Let me just reframe it. So
Okay. I'm good. All right. I got to move all my shit out of downstairs anyway. This is fucking retarded. I wonder if they ever even had James or if that was just a bait or if I got rug pulled.
Dude, that's so pathetic. That's so pathetic on their part. Holy crap.
On my own thing. Jesus Christ.
This for me, like, man, I have a lot of different friends, dude. Like, I think this gentleman would think that every friend I have is an extreme right winger. And Dustin, you know, it's so far from the truth. And like, I got to tell you, I see very few people. I don't know how old that young man is, but I see very few people that are taking this position who can actually have some manners and have a proper debate. Like, and I know I got angry and I got upset, but I'm like, well, Dana, I got a little upset with you because I'm like, hey, this room,
Come on, Dana.
why are we letting people just whack like this? It's not cool. Communication.
What did he do wrong? Dude. These fucking triggered snowflakes. Guys, this is fucking pathetic. Holy hell. These are grown adults with online following. These people. no one else is going to step in and say, what the fuck did he do wrong? All these people, everyone on this panel is a retarded pussy.
This is so unhelpful for, I mean, we can all do this, hey, left wing and right wing thing. I am not in any of those things. Like, I think it's stupid to fucking be in a club like that. I think it's fucking dumb as Dallas to be in a club like that.
Well, so I think this is part of like what the topic like kind of was originally, which is like, this is what the culture debate was though, right? Which is we take these hard...
First time I've ever seen it this heavy. I'm like, wow, I was being shocked. And I'm like literally going, hey, who is he talking about? That's why I wanted the 10 people. Cause I'm like, I don't.
This is no joke. This is what like online podcast politics look like for the younger generation, which is it's extremely tribal. It's extremely right. Like it's funny because we with the show have struggled because it's like every conversation we have is with super smart people who, right, we always take very nuanced positions. That is the kind of debate that happens. And part of the issue is,
yeah, that's not a debate though, man. Okay. There's no debating there. That's literally vomiting. I mean, it's projectile vomiting of, hey, and it's non sequitur.
You were asking him all of the political questions, you fucking jackass. Dude, what a fucking pussy. Oh my God. He was asking Destiny all the political questions, and then when he would respond with a political response, he would get so triggered. Dude, this is wild.
I was just trying to get some definitions, okay? Like literally get definitions. What, like, why wasn't my brother's name on that list? He should have been one of the top guys. So millions of followers, PBD. I didn't know. He's telling me Tucker Carlson. I think, isn't Trump mad at Tucker Carlson? Isn't the right hating on Tucker right now? I don't know, but
yeah, why didn't you debate him? Why didn't you respond with that when Destiny was not muted? Dude, this is, let me say, like, this is such a bad look. I don't think these guys realize it. And of course, if you're just completely towing the party line, you're not gonna realize it. You're not gonna care that what I'm about to say, that these guys are being just as bad as the TikTok twinks. I forget their names, but the one was really bad. Not Dean Withers, but the other one, the hotter one. The TikTok twinks, guys. What's the one's name? They debated Charlie Kirk when he went to the Jubilee thing. I forget, but anyway. The TikTok twinks always ride the mute button, bro. They did it to Andrew Wilson a bunch. It's pathetic. It's like, it's not even like Destiny was being abusive. We've seen him be so much more fiery, so much more spicy than that. Those guys can definitely not handle. I mean, Jesus, bro. All right, let's go to. So this is funny. Hold on. Let me look on my phone. What was. $149. Let's go to the PBD stuff. But let me show you from my stream the other night. Hold on. Where is it? Here we go. All right, let me get you to this tab, guys. Here we go. I found around where it's at. Let me make sure this isn't it. 140. I took a bunch of screenshots of timestamps because I'm gonna do a compilation deal, probably. It's on the Wesley Memo deal and getting into Iran and the other wars in the Middle East and stuff like that involve. Where are we at? 146.
crumbled. And you're dipping, you're doing your little thing, or you're doing your negative thing. So, but the point is this: your Holland's Opus, this 3-hour debate with Coleman Hughes, it wasn't close, Dave, and that's fine.
You got to go watch this. I'm intrigued. And if Dave Smith is wrong, so remember, Dave Smith did a debate with some fucking person, and this guy from the PBD podcast keeps referencing the debate. This guy, I think his name's Adam. He's supposed to be debating Dave Smith, and the whole time he was on Piers Morgan, he's pretty much referencing some other debate, telling everybody that Dave Smith got schooled, but couldn't explain how or why he thought that was the case. He just kept saying the guy surgically went through and debunked every little point you had, and he never could explain how, or he clearly does not even understand. Again, he's not somebody there's some crazy Candace people who will push whatever she says as truth. Guys, I don't he could be wrong about some of his points on the Wesley memo deal and getting into Iran and the other wars in the Middle East and stuff like that involve regime change and all this. I'd love to hear the points. I'll go check it out, I guess, but I don't think this guy has a clue why he thinks the other guy won. It doesn't sound like he does. He just keeps describing how well the other guy did without echoing one of his points, demonstrating that he understands why the other guy is right.
No, Dave, that was any person with logic. It's an unusual position. It's ridiculous. It's an unusual position. That was the moment for me where I said, this guy is actually a lightweight. He's actually a lightweight.
This is that moment for you for a lot of people, Adam, so congratulations.
My point to you, Adam, is simply it's an unusual debating strategy. We spent 10 minutes of this debate talking about another debate that most viewers may not see.
Yes,
there's other debates that we can bring up. The fact, Dave, when's the last time you were in the news?
Okay, so this is what we're falling back to now.
There's other debates we could bring up. Well, no one wants to bring up other debates. You're supposed to be on here debating.
Yeah, right. No, you know the answer. You're not asking.
I don't know the answer.
I have not been to the Middle East. Go do your best Douglas Murray acting job. Brother, I was prepared to bring you on friendly terms. So you are humiliating yourself right now.
You're really not
humiliating yourself right now.
You've been humiliating yourself for the past 2 years. Basically saying that America is a terrorist organization, that the IDF is a terrorist organization, and you're whitewashing actual terrorism. What are your thoughts on Islamic terrorism coming into the West? What are your thoughts on the war in the West? What do you think of ISIS? What do you think of Muslim Brotherhood?
Questions? Go ahead. It's a huge risk. And it's a huge risk, especially right now after we just murdered an Ayatollah and his whole family.
What's a huge risk? What's a huge risk?
You don't know what's going on over there because you haven't been. It's thanks for the argument. Cool.
I have lived here on and off for the last 8 years, unlike you, and respectfully, we have not been taken over by radical Muslims. It just hasn't happened the way.
When was the last time Donald Trump was in Iran? So these fucking jackholes that make this argument, you're gonna say that Donald Trump can send bombs over to a country and fucking annihilate some kids, even though he hasn't been there, but because I haven't been there, so I'm not allowed to critique how many children they slaughter. It's based. Listen to this, guys. This is the most base stream ever, guys. Listen to me go. Interesting. Watch myself. Interesting.
Being sold by people like Tommy Robinson to Americans, and you're all laughing.
How would you define it then, Piers?
I think we have a Muslim population which is predominantly peaceful and inclusive and settled well, and we have some radical members of radical Muslims, as we have radical members of other religions in this country, and we have to be very wary about it. What
other members of radical religions?
And we have had some.
Ironically, guys, had Donald Trump or any of his goons been in Iran any time in the last 10 years, they would have known that military base is no longer a military base and it's a school now for little girls. Ironically, the Douglas Murray meme could have saved children's lives, but instead of applying that to people who are sending bombs to other countries, people like to apply that to streamers who are critiquing who we bomb.
Via immigration control issues run by successive conservative Labour governments who frankly lost control of our border.
So based. Oh, so based.
To illegal immigration, but also allowed way too many people in legally. And these are proper, legitimate things to be discussed. But framing it, as some people like to do, as my country's being overrun, overtaken by radical Muslims, it's just a lie. It's just not true. So yes, there are things to be concerned about. And yes, I want to see everyone who comes here assimilate.
Well, hold on. Maddie said, I'm just going to be honest, Steve, after hitting over 9,000 targets is having to revert back to the one school that got hit. You really don't have a fucking argument. Bro, Maddie fact-checking me. What do you mean the one school that got hit? What about all the shit that happened in Gaza? But and I've said when DMS wears salmon, he is coated in base takes. What about dude, And listen, you can say like maybe I'm focusing on the school too much. I mean, up until the point that it became pretty much an accepted consensus that the U.S. did hit that school and it wasn't Iran killing their own school kids. Everybody was focusing on it to try to debunk it because it is a big deal. That is a big deal that the United States is going off of old ass intel, bad intel, and flattening a fucking school and then spreading rumors that it was Iran that did it. That's it's not great. I'm not saying that if we're doing some military operation, if any mistakes are made, then the whole thing was regrettable. That's not my argument at all.
Everybody lives here, assimilate into our culture. Of course I do. But this idea that we've been overrun and overtaken is nonsense.
Yeah. Everything everybody's saying about Sharia law being imposed in Birmingham hasn't been associated. There are a number of unofficial Sharia courts operating that have no legal basis or standing in the UK whatsoever. There's no Sharia law operated legally in this country. Thank you for enlightening me. So you're saying it's all overblown. That is
with the whole PBD team, and let me take on a guided tour of the UK, and trust me, you'll be fine.
I'm sure you're going to the most dangerous places. I'm sure you're not going to Birmingham or Bricklayer or anything like that.
I love Bricklayer, best curries in England. I love Birmingham, fantastic place.
Incredible Bangladeshi curry.
I'll take you there.
My central thesis here is that Dave thinks that the United States military and the IDF are the equivalent of the Ayatollah and the Hezbollah.
Just I think we all kind of agree that like open borders and lack of immigration restrictions are not very sound policy, and that those ought to not be in place. But I do just want to say too, but I guess almost Russia.
Isn't that what libertarians believe in, though? Don't libertarians believe in borders?
Let me just finish one point, since you have nothing to say, just let me finish the point. Anyway, no,
I've already said what I've been in a body for a year.
Great. Let's see what the reaction to this debate is. Okay, we'll take a look at that when it comes out. Anyway, but the idea that
dude, that's so funny, bro. It's so funny because every clip that's going around is a clip of Adam just getting handled, and I'm sure he thought there was going to be some clips of him that would look like good. We're going to get to the PBD clip from today in a second. Here's the part, guys. Here's when I called it right. This looks so bad. I wonder if Patrick Bet-David is like mad at him or something. I wonder if he's pissed off at him. I watched them, guys, right there. I called it. I said, I wonder if Patrick Bet-David is pissed off at Adam because this is the worst debate performance I think I've ever reviewed. This is almost as bad as Matt Dillahunty just walking off because he was scared of Andrew Wilson. I don't know which is worse, actually. It might have been better if he just walked off because he's just too dumb to handle a regular debate. You showed up to a debate and referenced other debates to say that this person is, dumb and got debunked, but then can't articulate any of those points from the debate. This is like the most pathetic thing. Talking about something the other day, and what was here? Let's go to the PBD clip. Hold on, I'll bring it up here. Over here. Here we go. Bro, this shit's funny. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it.
Local tax experts are here. Hand off your taxes with
Bro, look at the title of the video. You see it? Hold on, let me fix this. God damn you, StreamYard. What am I paying for? Go down here. No, now I'm covering it up. Let me go over here. No, now it's too small. Let me go here. The title of the fucking video is "You Didn't Make Arguments. PBD confronts Adam on his Dave Smith debate." Guys, I called it. I was like, this is so bad. Patrick Bet-David must be angry. This does not look good for your show that you have somebody on the show that is like just, willfully presenting themselves this foolishly.
Confidence.
It'd be different if he was on this stream. That's acceptable. We could make that work, okay? In fact, we do every night. But on the Patrick Bet-David show?
Sparkling Ice Flavor Lab, Stella speaking. How do you come up with these delicious flavor combos? Oh, your parents never...
Yeah.
Seen you make better...
Thanks. Here we go. From the top. That's as far as I got, guys. And I was like, oh, yeah, the chat has to see this.
Adam, you were on the Dave Smith. You and Dave Smith did a debate together.
He's in trouble, guys. He's actually in trouble.
On, what do you call it? On Piers Morgan. I think that's the first time you were ever on.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the market has responded. and they've been saying their thoughts on how it went, what you did, what was said. Davis retweeted and said something about this is the end of Adam funeral. He made some comments that went viral. You've responded. You made some videos at him as well. But I just want to kind of because a lot of times from the audience, you have to know how this works. The audience sits there and watches and says, I know for a fact Pat prepped him and the team prepped him and this and that, and they don't know what happens. I want you to share with us, because the audience is curious. They're asking me, what is your impression on how you did on the debate with Dave?
No one. Let me be clear. I don't know who's telling Patrick what, but no one in their right mind watched that debate performance by Adam and thought that anyone prepped him in any way. Why would anyone make that accusation? The whole point is how unprepared he was. No one thinks that anyone prepped him. He didn't prep himself. There was no evidence of prepping at all. Who's spreading this false rumor, this baseless claim?
Smith.
Well, despite what you think, I haven't listened or watched any of the internet comments. Zero. I don't go onto Twitter. I don't check the comments. It's just not something that I do. Some people are messaging me on my neck. What do you think? I don't know. People are saying stuff, and I'm listening to a song.
Scott, I was seeing something about. I'm gonna message you later. I don't know if, dude. I think there's some locking down going on or something. I don't know. Numbers. I feel like you've had better numbers than me recently. Like, live numbers. But I do think there's something up with YouTube, because I've been struggling a lot recently, more than normal. But I'll message you later. But yeah, everybody follow my one of my mods in here, Scott Starbird. Where's it? Here we go. Go follow Scott Starbird over there. He's a good dude. He's got a nice, cool stream, a fun stream, open-minded. Like, he reads a lot of the chats and stuff. He's very open to conversation, and he's open to different ideas and stuff, much like this channel. So go check him out. Oh, Chris Thompson's up in here. Go check out his channel too. What's up, Chris?
Called Ain't Nothing Gonna Break My Stride, Ain't Nothing Gonna Slow Me Down. And that's how I feel about this. So they told me last minute, hey, you're gonna go on Piers Morgan. Sure. I think Tom was maybe gonna do it. Tom wasn't able to do it. They called me up. I said, sure, I'll debate Dave Smith. Listen, there's no doubt that Dave Smith is smart or wise or well-read.
Yeah.
He does the quotation marks. Motherfucker, he's smarter than you, bitch.
The same thing could be said about when you debated a room full of 20 communists on Jubilee. They were all very smart. I was very impressed by all these people. But just because you're smart doesn't mean you're wise. Now, do I think Dave Smith is smart and capable? Sure. Do I think he's funny? No. Do I think he's right? Definitely not.
I'm asking you, how do you think you did?
I think I did fine. My intention
He thinks he did fine. Dude, I swear to God, I called it on my podcast or my stream. I said, Patrick should fire your ass, dude. This was so bad. He should fucking fire you. If anything, you would maybe the bright side. I might think that there's somebody who maybe hasn't seen the PBD podcast and was like, I have to go see whatever retarded ass show that this guy comes from. It must be an absolute train wreck. So I got to go check it out. You might actually have gotten the PBD podcast may have gotten a little bit of a bump from this guy being so retarded on Piers Morgan's show. But it's like, it's a pathetic kind of negative bump that might still count as a bump, but might still get your ass fired because it looks so bad.
Wasn't to play nice. So I went on Piers Morgan. I don't really have plans on going on Piers Morgan every single day. That's not my thing. It's a food fight every single day. Respect to Piers Morgan. I wanted to make some waves. That was my methodology. I could be right. I could be wrong. I don't care.
Okay. So
the problem is
you said you don't care?
No, meaning I don't care what the market.
Patrick's like, I'm about to tell you, I think you look like a fucking idiot and you should care.
market thinks of me.
Yeah.
I know what I believe.
Patrick, do you think you should have people on your show that don't care that they go on a show as big as Piers Morgan's and make a fool out of themselves? And against debating Dave Smith, no less.
I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I stand for what America stands for. Dave Smith, what pissed me off, he continues to say that America is the greatest terrorist regime in the world.
So what?
And that Israel is the greatest terror regime in the Middle East.
So what? That's his argument.
Sure. That's his argument. My point was that only 1% of Americans vote for libertarians. He's a hardcore radical libertarian.
Okay.
So when you wrote the book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, you said, who's your enemy?
Yeah.
I said, I don't know who my enemy is. I don't really have a lot of enemies. You know me, Pat. It's a big difference in the internet and comments in real life. I walk around in real life. I have zero issues.
You don't have issues there. That's
okay.
not the conversation
So
I'm having.
the conversation that I was just basically establishing is that Dave Smith, as potent as he might be on a podcast or even on Joe Rogan's for that matter, people don't support this guy. I support our troops. I support America. I support our allies.
I think Joe's had him on 20, 30 times.
Irrelevant.
No, it's not irrelevant. So ask, whether you agree with the guy or
yeah, you should check it out, Maddie. Check it out sometime. It's a good time. They got a lot of different people on the panel and stuff. And they read a lot of the chat and whatnot. Yeah, sometimes like I'm too swamped at work to catch it. But but yeah, it's a good time.
not. Joe likes Dave, right? So the question you got to ask yourself is, from my perspective,
I don't know if you. I think I did say it. Chris does the show with the fat pig. He's often on there with Piggy, and they'll have other people on there. Juggalo Jen, she's been in the chat over here too. She gets on there as well on the panel they have.
There's issues, there is approach, there is what's next for you. When I look at everybody in a marketplace, including myself, everybody in a marketplace, including myself, I leave and I say, okay, how am I recreating myself for this next phase? What areas do I have where it's a leak for me? What habits do I have that I need to pay attention to? When we started building an insurance company, yesterday I had Lee Strobel on, we had a great conversation together. One of the guys I would study a lot was Billy Graham. And Billy Graham and his friends in 1948, they came out with something called the Modesto Manifesto. And at that time, there was a lot of pastors that were getting caught up with young girls. And they came up with this thing saying, hey, what are our threats? And they came up with the threats that they had. It was 4 things. One of the ones was pastors hooking up with members. Number 2 was churches taking advantage of the members with money. Number 3 was the ego of a pastor. When you get on stage and you feel like, you are God. Like some pastors actually become godlike because of how much the church fears them and they like anyways. They go through this. I said, okay, how do we want to build this company? It's very hard. So you got to think about ways to improve. I'm asking you. The argument is one end, because I don't know if you focused on making I've seen you make better arguments with Bassem Youssef than you did with Dave Smith. I didn't see you making arguments on Dave Smith. And
dude, guys, it's bad when Patrick Bet David is pretty much quoting me. Someone said it earlier in the stream. They think PBD is a fan of DMS, the Dark Match Steve show over here. I don't know if that's true. Maybe it's just literally everyone who ever tweeted about it or anything had the same feelings that I did, because it's just pretty much objectively that was pathetic.
And the reason why I'm doing this with you openly, and I'm talking to you openly with you, is there's an element of also representing where you're coming from, where the expectation is, hey, when you go and be professionals, that's not how I handle debates. I don't handle debates that way.
Damn, bro. He's actually mad, guys. I called it. He's mad.
It's not my MO. So if you're close to me and you're handling it that way, that is not my style. I don't do stuff like that. And Dave and I don't even agree on some of these issues. But if I'm having a conversation, it's about what is this next phase. And by the way, the reason why I'm having this direct feedback with you publicly is for the following reason. This is how I roll at them. I will give you private feedback and have your back 100%. I've always been like that. This is why my guys like working with me, and they know how tough it is that time, because I'm always challenging them.
Well, but the guy said, Adam said, oh, I don't care. You know what? If he doesn't care how foolish he looked on Piers Morgan's show, why should anyone be worried? Why should Patrick be worried about confronting him publicly like this? For real. Like, you clearly, you don't care. You made a fool out of yourself and you did it publicly. It's like, yeah, you deserve to be confronted publicly. This is he's fucking pissed, guys. I told you, he's pissed. Adam really did not make them look good.
But if my private feedback that I'm giving doesn't land, and it feels like you have immunity to go run around and say whatever you want and keep saying, I don't give a shit what people say. I do. There's an approach to take about this game. I don't care that we have differences in debates. We push each other here and we have arguments and, comment, I side with Vinny today. You know what? Today, actually, I side with Adam. There was a couple moments where you had a couple clips of like they sided with you. I think Adam's the point today. And I'm like, oh, okay, Adam had a point. And then, hey, Tom, no, I'm siding with Tom today. Pat, you were off today. No problem. But it's recreating for the next phase of what is that next phase for you. And that's a very important thing for you to be thinking about. I've had that conversation with him, recreating himself. I've had the conversation with him, recreating himself. I have the conversation openly with me on what I need to recreate.
Guys, just think about Dave Smith right now. Just has to be creaming his pants watching this over and over again. Dave Smith must just have a permanent boner right now. Absolutely throbbing and leaking. I mean, how many times you think he's watched it? Like 50 times yet today, just like in 10x speed? Imagine Dave Smith. We could see the frustration Dave Smith was feeling because he actually wanted to have like some kind of conversation, and this idiot was just like telling everybody, oh, Dave Smith got schooled on some other show. Yeah, it was really wild. No, I don't understand any of the points that the other guy made, but he sure schooled Dave. Like, dude, this is wild.
But for me, when I saw that, I'm like, you brought up another guy from the past that beat Dave. Great. You brought up, no, there needs to be the Adam that I've seen debate that is prepared. He actually would have made some real good.
He didn't even make any fucking arguments, dude.
Points there. And you, by the way, you've been a moderator for Zero Hedge with Dave Smith and what do you call it? Laura Loomer, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what you did? Didn't you moderate? Yeah.
Yes.
And that was a pretty good job you did as a moderator. So I don't know. I'm saying this publicly to say this next phase requires all of us to recreate ourselves. And that includes you in a big way. And I've said this privately 8 weeks ago, 9 weeks ago at that dinner place we went to, and I was very direct with you. But you're cornering me to have to say this publicly to you right now. And you have to make a decision on what you want to do with this next phase. You got to recreate yourself. Sure. It's a very important thing. I'm being very respectful to you. And you had no idea that I'm going to go here this morning. You had no clue I'm going. And by the way,
I just imagine the frustration Dave was going through. Bro, I can imagine this is so vindicating for him to see that Adam is actually being like, he's being reprimanded publicly because of how fucked up he behaved during a debate with Dave Smith. Like, Dave Smith had this guy so triggered that he acted out so badly that he's like on the verge of getting fired, bro.
Intentionally changed today's business podcast.
Oh my God.
To do this, because obviously Monday I couldn't be here. We had certain things that was going on. This weekend I had, what do you call it?
SLS.
SLS. Sean Hannity did it last Friday. So I changed everything. And Rob and I, we had to talk about it yesterday and calendar to do it this way. But for me, sometimes, when people say, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. And sometimes this is like the Trump effect. Well, Trump doesn't care. Well, Trump doesn't give a shit. Well, Trump doesn't do this. Well, contrary to popular belief, Trump looks at every poll. Trump listens to every comment.
What's up, Piggy? TFP's up in here. There he is, guys. Go click over to his channel. Give him a sub. _fat_pig. He does the Pigpen show with one Chris Thompson. Go sub to their channel. Sub. Guys, let's for real try to help each other out. These guys have been far too kind to me playing my songs and stuff on their channel and everything. I really appreciate that when you guys are live playing my stuff. Yeah, guys, we got to support each other. The algos can be such a bitch. And it's like, I don't know, guys. Part of the reason I like being super critical of some of these other channels is, not only like I'm hoping there'll be some PBD people that might check out the stream and think that this is like a cool place to hang or whatever. Maybe there's something they like about it. I don't know. But it's also like, dude, it's kind of crazy how people can be on a show that's this big and just act such a fool. Like it's kind of not fair on this one level. It really isn't. Send me the leak. I'll be 5 minutes. All right, lover. I got you. Fuck. I almost pressed the wrong. Here we go. This over there. Oh, there we go. All right, it's sent. Go check your email, lover. It is officially sent. Oh, Thuggish is in here. What's up, bro? Welcome. Good to see you, dude. Thanks, bro. Yes, I appreciate you guys up in the chat. The mods are Maddie's normally really good about it. I think he's done it tonight. I appreciate you guys reminding people to hit the like button up in the chat because I refuse to sit here and ask people to hit the like button. Not that it's like below me, like I don't need it, because I very much do, but just out of respect for the viewer and trying to maintain a good flow of good content, I refuse to just pump the brakes on this stream and sit here for even 1 minute, for even 5 seconds to ask you to hit like buttons and subscribe buttons and to click the share button and the notification and all the, like, to sit here and to just beg you to hit all the buttons and stuff and waste everyone's time. I just refuse to do it. Okay. I feel like it's just like, it's beneath me in the sense of holding the content at the highest standard. Okay. I won't sit here and ask you to do all that and hit the buttons because I really, really need you to do it. It's like the only thing I ask you to do, or don't ask you to do, but really need you to do. Anyway, here's the fat pig. What's up, piggy? Welcome.
Hey, lover. How are you, sweet cheeks?
I'm pretty good.
Missed
How you
you.
doing?
Oh, pretty good, Just plugging away. Real busy with work and everything. How's the Flora business going?
Oh, dude, it was busy as hell at my job the other day. It was brutal. But yeah, dude, my health is pretty much back on track. I'm feeling like a lot better. I'm like it's weird, man. I don't know how much you've seen when I've talked about it, but yeah, my health was just like really, really funky for a minute. And like it was scary. It was mentally bad and like, physiologically bad. I felt like I just, couldn't stand up for more than a little while, and that my blood sugar and blood pressure was just all over the place.
Right.
And extreme anxiety and even like extreme depression type stuff. I didn't leave my house for a few days. It was fucking brutal. And yeah, I just needed to get my diet back on track. Apparently I have some fucking pancreas problem.
Really?
Yeah, from a medication I took in high school.
That's what I had a feeling that it would be when I heard you talk about it, but I wasn't quite sure. What?
Oh, Brian from Philly's up in here too. What's up, Brian? Welcome. You still a good buddy? Thank you. Yeah, dude, I tore something in my my elbow and it's healing up a little bit. So I've gone really, really light on the workouts, but I did biceps the other day, just like really took it easy. Oof. I am ripped right now though, and like I'm not underweight, like I'm actually like pretty ripped. I'm in good health right now. My digestive system I think is like completely back on track, and it's mentally I'm kind of like functioning way better. Like even before, when I was feeling all the weird shit and just couldn't even leave my house, for like a month before that, a couple months, I was already just like not really feeling right. and I'm feeling even like better than I was back then, you know. I was getting like vertigo and stuff. It was super weird, man. Brain fog and vertigo for like a couple months, and then it got to the point where I was at work and I couldn't even make it through a full day of work, and I went home and just stayed inside my house and figured it out for like 4 days almost. If you include when I went home early at like, you know, in the afternoon, and just from 2
Yeah, that really sucks when you get fucking anxiety like that. I mean, I've had that happen to me before where you fucking freeze up, you know. It really sucks, like if you're pulling a trailer down the road and you just all of a sudden you fucking freeze up.
Dude, I don't know what happened. It was, so I don't want to get too much into it. I want to get back to the PBD deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was crazy. It was like I was having a really, really bad mushroom trip, but without any cool visuals or anything. It was like pure dread and fear and just complete like fucked up thoughts and everything.
Yeah, it sucks when that happens, you know, and then you don't even know what you're freaking out about. You know what I mean? It's the human psyche is a very interesting thing, in my opinion. You know, you can freak out. You feel like you're fucking dying. You don't know what it is. You go into that mindset. No, I know what you're talking about. I mean, that shit's for real.
Dude, I was talking to Maddie a bunch about this, and like, you know, I for the longest time I've been like dealing with my, you know, I took this medication in high school that apparently fucked up my pancreas. That's what my doctor told me. I didn't learn that that's exactly what is likely to be what the problem is, because I told her all the herbs and stuff that I was using in my diet to help me. And she's like, oh yeah, this is all like blood sugar regulating stuff and whatever. Like, the medication you took messes up people's pancreas and this and that. And the fucked up state, not like my body, seriously, I was scared to leave the house, not just the anxiety, but it was also, I was scared I would just like pass out if I drove somewhere or something, you know? And then I feel like, I don't know, I know somebody who, you know, was like unable to drive a car because of seizures, and I'm scared. I don't want that to happen. You know, that something like that, like if they find out like, oh, you blacked out behind the wheel. That's never happened, luckily. But
no, yeah, but you feel like it's going to happen. That's the difference. You know?
But I was talking to Maddie about this, and I just wonder if that is like the state of mind I was in. Like I'm telling you, it was like tripping without visuals and just a terrible bad trip. And I wonder if this is like a thing. I never even Googled it. I could probably Google it tonight and look into it. But I wonder if they've found some connection between people like having severe depression or like, you know, bipolar or schizophrenia and having a pancreas problem, dude. Because I'm telling you, like, I was in like the depths of hell for a few days, and it was, I can't believe I streamed. I still streamed. I got on here, talked about Netanyahu, and I was like in a bad trip. It was really bad.
So would you say it's more physical or more mental?
Dude, it was both. My skin felt like I was crawling, or it was crawling. Like I felt like I was kind of coming down with a flu, but I never got any kind of like flu symptoms. I just felt that achy body feeling, and even was like getting chills. And I would go to my bathroom, and this is one thing I would do when I would get the flu, is I would run hot water and put my feet in it and then put a cold rag on my neck so that your body doesn't overheat. It's really good for if you have a fever. Put like a cold wet towel on your back and then put your feet in the hot water, so the cold towel is, it's like, it's weird, the blood comes up and cools and goes back down, warm, comes back. It feels really good. But I was doing that and I wasn't even sick. I didn't have the flu or anything. I was just like in just like a fucked up state. And it was all like because I took certain shit out of my diet. I don't even know exactly what it was. I just threw everything back in that I know I've taken out in the last like 3 to 6 months.
Right.
So, but yeah, dude, turns out it seems like that fucking spaghetti that you guys would watch me eat on here every night was like keeping my whole fucking body in check.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it beyond that. I mean, it's really weird. It's crazy, but
Yeah, because you ate that fucking shit every fucking night. Jeez.
yeah, dude. Apparently everything my body needed was in that one meal, and I just stopped. I took it out. I don't know.
Well, I appreciate you having me. Are you going to be on much longer? Or?
I'm just going to get through the rest of this PBD deal, and then I'm here.
Did you check your back chat?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure what that means. Maybe specify more, possibly. Here, let me pull the PBD deal back up.
Trump listens to every criticism. So what you think that Trump does, I'm not telling you go read the comments the next day and go through all chat. I don't recommend that at all. But I do believe a little bit of criticism to see, well, maybe there's a little bit of credibility there. There's a little bit of value there for me to receive. How can I receive this and recreate myself? Because if you're not too careful, Adam, and I'll open it up to you guys if you want to say anything. I'll give you the final thoughts, and then I'm going to get on to the next story. But I wanted to open up with, let's get right into it, is the following. There is no April Fool's jokes today. I don't have one. Okay, so if you guys are expecting an April Fool's joke, I don't have one. This is not an April Fool's joke. I know what day today is. This is not, I've had certain friends of mine that are very good. I used to be very good at the April Fool's stuff. I don't have one today. Maybe I'll have one for you next year when I'm in a different mood. But this is the part I want you to be thinking about. Is the market is going to criticize you. There's a very big difference between the bots. I read a comment yesterday, made the most disrespectful comment to me. And the first thing I did, I went to the account. It got started in February of 2026. Oh, weird. It has 2 followers, follows 6,000 accounts. That's a bot of somebody that created to say it. Forget about the bots. There are some people that are giving real feedback that we have to pay close attention to because, we can disagree. Even with the Dave Smith part, Dave Smith's issues, we can sit down and have a debate over the number, and I can still do it respectfully. Even when I went to Jubilee, they disrespected me. I didn't disrespect the kids when I spoke to them. Our position has to be a different position. And even when Trump calls out, he still is very paying attention to the likability score that he has. Love him or hate him, people like him. I'll pause. Vinny, any thoughts you have?
Respond real
of
quick,
course, absolutely.
So I'll just break this down real quick. We didn't have this discussion prior. You just kind of preemptively brought this up, and I'm totally okay with it. If I wanted to have a ideological debate with Dave, I would probably rephrase.
Yeah, I saved it.
Yeah, that's cool.
That the world is a dangerous place, and he wants to pretend that he's an ostrich and not engage with anybody. So, to use an analogy, if this guy was a dating coach, he would say, just sit at home all day and wait for women to knock on your door. And that's when you can respond to women. The world doesn't work that way. If you're a sales coach or if you're a sales manager.
Were you in here that night for the Dave Smith deal when we covered that on here?
Yeah. That was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
That's like saying, just stay by the phone.
What do you think's the outcome of a debate?
But dirt.
See ya, Sniz. Love ya.
Dirt. I love dirt. I'm a dirt nerd.
When I think about
you're a fucking felon.
How I divide my time, it's very carefully.
Doesn't that make her hotter though?
Professional.
The outcome of a debate.
Forget Dave.
I don't know. You know what I will say? I can't go back to that, but I don't know how recent it is and if they did it editing or whatever, but she looked good for her age. I'll say that.
Yeah.
This isn't a Dave Smith conversation. That could have been John Doe. I'm not talking.
But the point is that I'm trying
what
to
is
make
the
was
purpose of a debate?
We're not aligned.
What is the purpose of a debate?
To find the truth.
The purpose. That's a clash of ideas.
Sure.
So somebody can watch and say, wow, good point. Never thought about it that way. Let me go back and look at it, right? That is the purpose of a debate. The purpose of a debate is for me to look at something when, like the moment where Hillary Clinton and Trump are going at it, and Hillary says, him and all he didn't pay any taxes and he didn't do this and he didn't do that. And then the moderator asks Trump a question and says, is it true that you paid this? He says, yes. I will use every single tax code that you have, just like all her donors do. And by the way, you've been there for 36 years. How come you've never changed it? So me as the voter sits there and says, that's a very good point. You've been there for 30. That's the debate. It gets people thinking.
Sure.
So if I'm going into a debate and I didn't make anybody think, what was the purpose of debate?
Sure. Well, now, fair point. Well, the point that I was
He made everybody think that he's a fucking retard.
because ideologically we're not aligned here. I'm supporting Trump. Was I supporting Trump 5-10 years ago?
No, you were not.
So I'm all behind Trump. Everybody
Right.
wants to criticize Trump right now. The thing that I'm basically establishing is the fact that this guy has a luxury of living in America and wants to criticize the heck out of Trump when I'm defending Trump and our troops. The point that I was saying is I'm defending Trump. Dave's the type of person that will root for the bad guy in the bad movie. So that's what Dave is. Aside from that, other than that, I understand.
Dude, no, Scott, you are so right. Like you said, Adam should just shut the F up and agree with PBD on this. He's actually trying to defend himself. Dude, yes, I don't know what he's going on a tangent here again about why Dave Smith sucks. Dude, it was your debate performance. Can you not just say, like, you know what? That wasn't the best, and I wasn't well prepared. And
yeah, obviously he was not the captain of the debate team.
yeah. Dude, it's really like it looked like the first time and it's not. That's the bad thing.
No, that shit's cutthroat when you debate people. I mean, that's like when you tried to debate me and I fucking tore you to shreds, and people even put in the comments, they were like, wow, that fat pig really roasted your fucking ass.
That never
You
even
know.
happened, but that's
I can pull it up for you if you want.
Well, we can pull all kinds of clips up. We can, can't we?
Oh, don't show those clips, Steve. Those are private.
Okay.
You're talking about. The reason I brought up the Coleman Hughes, and I encourage people to go watch it. This was the sort of like the swan song event. Imagine you hype up this event. Here's what's going on. The SLS is coming this weekend. Here's what's going on. And this debate.
Look at his face. He's pissed off. He's like, this guy's an idiot.
Place. And it was a
Very
12-0
pissed.
drubbing. So that's my point. Should I have conveyed it a little bit better? Sure. Should I have not brought up someone else's debate in my debate? Maybe I'll learn that for the next time. That's fine. But the reality is this: he got whooped, and I called him out on it. That's all it was.
Yeah, but it was your fight and his.
Sure. For the next time, I'll debate him just heads on. I brought up something from the past.
But my feedback isn't actually that. My feedback is it's okay to pay attention to the pulse of the market every once in a while. Good feedback's being given. Not 80% of people, not 90% of people, but there are reasonable people that will give you good feedback.
Sure.
And none of us, there's not a single human being in the world that actually likes to be given feedback that we get excited about it. So it's not like anybody likes it, but it's in those moments where your character is being tested to say, you know what? Let me receive some of this and see if there's some good feedback and then process it.
I'm going to turn this over to Vinny. I'll just say one thing.
Yeah.
You know what Vinny and I do when you're not around?
What's that?
We say, hey, what feedback do you have for me? What feedback for me? We actually talk. We actually convey. How many times have we done
Remember
stuff like
what
that?
the difference is?
So,
you know what the difference is?
What's that?
Here's the difference. So this event at SLS, I asked the question because I used to always look at my guys and judge them on how hard they work, how great they're on scripts, how many books they read, and all this stuff. Eventually, I'm like, let me look at it in a different way. It was, how much information does this guy retain from what I teach? So you teach something, this guy retains 10%, that guy retains 20%, this guy retains 30%. Then the next thing is, okay, so he's winning on retaining information. He's smarter than you, let's just say, hypothetically, right? Okay. Now,
Yeah, hypothetically. I don't think he's speaking hypothetically. He pointed right fucking at you.
Bro, it all lines
I
up
like
well.
this guy.
Oh, fuck.
Next part is what? What's after retention? Implementation.
You caught that too, Piggy. You're locked in. I like it.
So he only implements of the 30% he retained, 5%. He retained 20%, but he executes 20%. You retain 10%, but you implement 50%. Then it comes to coachability. Then it becomes the speed of implementation. Then all of that stuff. Feedback is feedback. It's receiving and implementing that matters. That score of coachability, high, low, is the difference between you and Vinny. And that's the coachability marker that I want you to be internalizing for yourself. So, Vinny, again, I don't want to be on this too long. I want to move on. This will say something.
This will take me 2 minutes. From a debate point of view, because I'll give both sides. He's never been in this environment. Meaning, when they send a van, when I go and do these debates with a panel of 6, everybody's yelling, talking over each other. People don't realize you're in a van. You're sitting in the sun in Florida. I'm red. I know you were hot. Even what's his name was in there. Jaden was in there. People are like, he's on cocaine. I read the comments because I want to know what the temperature is. The negatives were obviously you referred to another debate which nobody wants to do.
out.
You were a little off.
Bro, no way. He just said they thought you were on cocaine.
Yeah. And he's freaking out and making it look plausible.
Yeah.
Jock your
As a
jaw
brother,
some
I know
more.
that you were nervous. this is what bothered me, Adam. We are in here, and I know it's going to happen today on this podcast. Israel's going to be brought up, and we're going to go into it. You are amazing at that debate, and I was disappointed because you're in the moment and you refer to whatever. You have the arsenal, you had the ammunition, you had this big ass arsenal, and you just used a pistol. You were just like kind of going after and doing personal, and I was disappointed because I was like, yo, you have it, you didn't use it, and this is my attitude. When I was young and I'd get my ass whooped, my mom would be like, you're going to go outside, you're going to fight that guy right now. You're not going to sit here and let it fester. I know that you're going to do it. You have to debate him again.
Please go get your ass handed to you by Dave Smith again. Give us a scrub daddy. Scrub daddy, please.
See, that's the type of guy I'd give a cheap shot to. I'd headbutt somebody like that.
Wait, what?
I said that's the guy I'd give a cheap shot to. I'd headbutt somebody like that. He's annoying as fuck.
Who, the Adam guy?
Yeah, I have no clue who these fucking people are. The host is very poignant.
Yeah, PBD is like pretty smart, but again, I've been highly critical of them, but I feel like sometimes, dude, the other guy, Vinny, isn't the best debater, but he actually like makes arguments and stuff. I mean, the thing that Adam did with Dave Smith was just beyond pathetic. But I feel like when it's topics, and again, I could be wrong on this because I'm not very business minded. But when they discuss business related topics, I feel like I kind of learned something, and it's like they're in their wheelhouse, dude. As soon as they start kind of like straying from a business related topic, I feel like it's sometimes they kind of look uninformed and just way like several steps behind. But I know, like, I kind of watch even I watch probably 10 times as much debate stuff as what we play on here. I'm just saving you guys from doing debate reviews every single fucking night. But so maybe my standards are like a bit higher, but it is what it is, though. They're kind of not the best debaters, any of them, on the PBD show.
Cover your week for less. It's an Aldi thing.
Jesus Christ, really? How many? And look at this. Let's face it. The ads are like delayed.
Most of us aren't going to set foot on Mars.
Oh, I like those shoes.
I'm gonna.
You have to do it again.
Okay, all right, Tom. You don't look like you have anything to say. It's all good. We can.
I don't have anything to say.
Tom, it's all your fault. I was filling in for you.
No. Pat, Pat was very articulate about it. He's got standards. We
call him a pussy, please.
Get feedback. We try to meet those standards, and we want to represent well wherever we are.
Okay, all right, all good. Thank you, Tom. We got a lot of messages, Pat. Monday, who do I go to?
All right, yeah, dude, I do got to get out of here. I gotta head to bed. Still gotta eat my last meal of the night.
All right, yeah, just shoot me over. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, lover. I'll be in touch.
All right, brother.
Sure,
I certainly do appreciate it, Steve. Thanks for having me. I do appreciate all the love and support to all the chat.
Everybody,
love y'all.
Go follow
Army.
the Fat Pig. Go subscribe over on his channel. It's the_fat_pig on YouTube. Go subscribe and check him out. He's all over the place.
Thank you, Steve. I certainly do appreciate it. You have a wonderful evening, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good to see you, lover.
All right.
I'll be in touch.
Dust.
Mwah. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. This has been Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. Extremely dark times, indeed. So, guys, tomorrow, Scott Starbird, you're streaming tomorrow night, right? Correct, sir? So, tomorrow night, I don't know. I'll probably be able to still go live. We'll see about tomorrow. I know I don't know. I'm assuming I might have a busy day tomorrow. I'm not sure. But I was hoping I could go on like early. I don't know. We'll see about it. But anyway, Scott, are you going live tomorrow? Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate it. I think he is. He's doing Fridays now, right? 6:30. Okay, yeah, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. So, guys, go check out Scott. Subscribe to his channel. He'll be live around 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be up in the chat, slutting it up over there. And I'll probably go on around 8. We'll see, though, guys. Don't be surprised, and don't, if you miss it live, still watch it later if you'd really like to support me. But I might go on super early or something. If I can get out of work early, I'm going to go on super early. Because I kind of have plans for tomorrow night. So we'll see. Anyway. Oh, Scott says DMS text me, switch times with you. All right, we'll talk about it. We'll see. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I don't want to F up stuff for you on Friday if it doesn't work out for me to be out early enough to do that. But I'm definitely not doing a super long stream, and earlier would be better. But we'll talk about it maybe. I'll text you. All right, lovers, I'll be out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow at some point. We'll do some kind of fun Friday stream. We'll see about it. Maybe we'll go over the Terrence stuff that I wanted to talk about. We could probably get through that in a fairly quick amount of time. 10x speed. And yeah, we'll see about it. All right, lovers. Thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow at some point, hopefully. Love ya. Mwah.